Everybody would like to know really just one thing, and that is what the heck is going on? An animal doesn't think what the heck is going on because an animal feels everything that an animal thinks about. And some animals are actually much cleverer than humans. Bees can actually do mathematical calculations. This is unbelievable when you think about it. Better than supercomputers, not regular computers, supercomputers. Imagine the math of a computer. They're really good. Bees are smarter than computers in math, and that's saying a lot. But everything an animal does, it does because it has a feeling. It's hungry, it's afraid, and these instincts, as Einstein says, govern the entire behavior of the animal. So they don't think, what the heck am I doing here? If you ever notice a dog, he's got nothing to do. He's lazy. He just does nothing. So everything is driven by an internal kind of pain-pleasure system. There's nothing driving him. He doesn't feel pain. He doesn't have a need for any pleasure. He just does nothing. And human beings are basically a combination of three souls. We have an animal soul. We have that concept within us. Particularly men have that. Women, because they have, as our sages say, Bina Yeseva Nitna Lesha, is more Bina, which is, I don't know if you want to call it situational awareness. They speak about a sixth sense that women have, but scientifically they have more white matter, which connects the three parts of our brain, the right, left, and prefrontal. So their brain is always thinking. Because they're thinking so much, they worry a lot. Their brains are very, very busy. As our sages say, women have the quality, they're always schmoozing, and they're always busy. But for men, often, if you don't have anything painful, and you don't have any pleasure or desire, you can literally just do nothing. Sometimes women are, I think Jerry Seinfeld said, woman is often thinking, what's my husband thinking? He's like, don't worry, he's not. Okay, but that's on one side. On the other side, we have a godly soul. The godly soul basically is feeling basically distant. Imagine a child that's been banished, is far from his home. There's a deep desire in a human being to connect to God, which is why 99% of our issues in life are solved, as we see empirically, when we connect to God, and particularly the commandments in the Bible that He's given us, 613 for the Jews, 7 Noahide for the whole world. So that's the godly soul. But we also have an intelligence which is independent of the godly soul and is independent of the animal need for pleasure and not pain. And it basically is the question part of us, which is, what the heck are we doing here? And the only real answer to that question is love. The reason we exist is because God loves us. I think God gave paradigms, ways for us to understand reality. And the parent-child paradigm is one of the strongest paradigms. Why does the child exist? Because the parents love. Because they love, they give birth, they take care of, they give freedom to, they give opportunity to the child. And God does the same thing with us. But love is not an egotistical emotion. Love is an expression of a humble heart that can see beauty and greatness in another. And so love should not be taken for granted, because love comes also with its flip side, which is basically the hatred of the opposite of love. Love is an emotion. And so, just to give you an example, if I love my child and somebody starts up with my child, I will hate them. I will be obviously furious at them. And because God loves love, the one thing He cannot stand is when we are mean to each other, and even mean to ourselves, because we are His, we are not our own. And therefore, what God loves perhaps most of all is love itself, to see us loving one another. And so if you want to really sum total everything up, as Einstein himself said, it really is all about love. God's love to you, your love to yourself, your love to others, and anything that smacks of hate anything that smacks of vilification, of denigration, of humiliation, which it must be said because pornography is rife, and it is an evil because it's the denigration of a woman. People need to respect, men need to respect women, and women need to respect men. All of these ideologies, whether it's feminism, all these things that come in the manner, not to say that there aren't things that have to improve, but things that come in the manner of denigrating another group or another society or another group of people. All of these things, they actually are negative. And it comes from the dark side, just as there is the side of God, the side of love, there is the Satan, there's a side of hate. And we are caught in between these emotions because naturally our instinct is love. But if we don't overcome, if we don't make a conscious choice, so now you know what the heck we're doing here, but it's not enough. You have to bind your mind and soul and spirit. You have to bind every fiber of your being to love, because there is hate in the world. We've seen it. Unfortunately, he who mustn't be named brought this into the American public. Used to be, I grew up in Middle America. America was basically united. You look at the polls before he became president. The right and the left were basically in the center. And then he became radically left. I mean, literally cultish. And the right moved a little bit to center right. And so this kind of hatred, which really comes from jealousy of love, because when we're jealous of something, we try to make the other person not have what we don't have. And so our goal in life is to really understand that love is the key, but love takes action. Love takes dedication. It takes commitment. It takes awareness that there will be forces that try to get us away from ourselves, away from each other. The Rebbe says most of the effort that the Satan puts into this world is in destroying marriages, and he's damn successful, excuse my French. So we have to work really hard to understand that love is what matters, and fight for love, fight for what's right, and not become party of a group that stands for denigrating another group, putting someone down. It doesn't matter how righteous it seems, but it's evil. Thanks for watching, and please, 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 let's all join in the force of love, but not a love like an emotion, just like the animal. Oh, wow, this makes me feel. A love as a commitment. This is what I'm committed to, and that will save the world.